Hi and welcome to the workshop. Today I'm going to be making a nesting box for small garden birds. In my case that's going to be for sparrows or for tits. So one box slightly larger than the other, slightly larger hole for it as well. All the information about hole sizes for the birds you've got in your garden you should be able to find on the internet, and it's quite specific. Different species will want a different size hole, and you want to obviously target the ones that you wish to look after in your garden. Now I'm going to be cutting those holes with an auger, and I've got an adjustable bit in here so I can get exactly the hole size that I want. I'm going to be making it out of some of these scraps that I've got around. These are some reclaimed roughly 4 by 3/4 inch rough sawn boards. A little bit smaller than the boards I use in the nesting box plan that I have available, and I'm going to be putting this up for free on my website, so anyone that wants one can have it. I'll be building something slightly different today based on what I've got available in parts. And nest boxes really are very simple to make. You don't need to do much work to the wood. It can all be rough sawn. I'm not going to finish anything apart from perhaps the roof. Now let's just assume this is the roof on here. Looking at it maybe from the side, maybe from the front, I don't know, whichever you choose to do. The roof, I think if that was actually plain nice and smooth, got a coat of some hot beeswax on there, that's going to shed the water really well, and I can maintain that once a year if I need to. So that's the only area that's going to be touched by a plane. But if you don't have a plane, you're not confident using a plane, don't worry about it. You know, you could put some felt on there if you want to seal it, but let's be honest, birds are used to living outside anyway. It's going to shed most of the water. Even if it starts to soak through, it's still not going to go into where the nest is. So don't worry too much about it. So the first thing I'm going to do now is take a look at all the various bits and pieces I've got lying around, work out what's the best use of the material I've got to make 1, 2, probably maybe even 3 bird boxes out of this stuff, and start sawing it up. Now, because we've got a cup in this board here, that means when we try and put the thing together, we're going to find that the back of the box is going to be too close together. It's not square. So we need to just adjust things so that these come out parallel. And that just means taking a little bit off these front edges. And you could do that, you could do it with a saw, or you could do it with a rasp. I'm going to do it with this Shinto rasp, or you could do it with a plane. It doesn't have to be that accurate, just a little bit closer than it is would be nice. I've got that on a coarse setting, which makes it a little bit awkward to use on such a small thing. We're not looking for perfect, we're just looking for better than it was. And that is much better already. So that'll do. Then we need the back. We can use the rough sawn surface where we resawed this piece of wood. We can use that as the back. So I'll mark that off for the height, and then we can mark off the roof. And then the last thing we need to do is put a little loose bottom in there so that we can take that out to empty the nest, and just hold that in probably with a couple of screws. So we'll mark for that and cut that as well. Having cut the base, I've also just knocked off the corners here, which will allow any moisture that does get in to get out. I've also cut the lid for it. I've cut a bevel on both ends. Don't need to, it could be square cut. That just fits on there. The plain surface, once it's waxed, will just let the water run straight off. So it's time now to nail it together. I'm going to be using galvanized nails, and that's really important so they don't rust. And I'm going to, also important is to drill clearance holes, snug clearance holes, and some pilot holes as well, so we don't split any of the timber. Dovetailing the nails a little bit ensures that it won't come apart so easily. Well, there she is, all finished, ready for the birds. Very quick, very easy, and let me tell you, a pair of tits are going to be very happy to nest in that. I'll screw a batten across the back, and that can be screwed up to the wall, which will keep it away from any cats that might prey on the birds. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.